So now I would like to invite Jonathan and Roger to come and share some reflections on Peter Caddy. Thank you.
Well, the ladies put the lipstick on, we put the jackets on, all right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Are you talking? You got that there? Yeah. It's a privilege to be here and to be, well, I've been a witness to so much of what's gone on here. Having been born in that caravan there and moved here on the 17th of November, but a witness to my parents, and I'm going to talk about my father, because, well, I wouldn't be here, and none of you would be here without my father. And a lot is talked about my mother because she was here longer in this community. My father left in 1979. And but without him actually putting the visions and the words into practice in what actually developed in this place, I think we have to go back and we do, Robert, have to remember the essence of this place, because it was actually quite a simple experiment in some ways. It was 4 people that came here, plus 6 children. There was 10 of us to start with, that came here, and they wanted to live by spirit, by going inside and following that spirit, that voice. And yes, all right, the press loved it because they didn't have a name, so they called them the Nameless Ones. And, they wanted to create a story out of it. But actually, this community, right at the beginning, it was a simple process. And out of that seed, we have this magnificent legacy that we are all living and involved with. So, but without my father putting things into the physical, this hall definitely wouldn't be here, but so many other things wouldn't be here. And in terms of his qualities, he was a great leader, but not because of his ego. Actually, it was because he actually didn't put himself first. He put the bigger, the bigger plan in there. So he didn't ask things out of wanting to do things for him, for the aggrandizement of any individual, but for the greater good. He was someone that loved life, a lot of physical energy, and he was a hard act to follow. I've always said that. Very difficult because he saw things in such a positive way. And I suppose my life has been a little bit different, and maybe yours has too. But he certainly was a wonderful pioneer here. I don't know how he would live in this community now, Roger, but anyway. So I know him as his son, and I would normally have my brothers here, but they're not here at this particular juncture for various reasons. But we've got Roger to have a little talk about my dad.
Can you all hear me? Great. I hitchhiked up from London and arrived the summer of 1970 as a 19-year-old young man, and embraced fully by Peter and Eileen Dorothy and the fledgling community that was here, and then stayed for that 7 weeks and then came back in 1971. And I just want to tell you about the qualities that Peter had and how they affected me, because Peter had an element of mysticism for sure, but it was mysticism in action. He saw himself in the action and the deed of doing something and acting from that greater wholeness. And he was a manifester. He had abundance. Nothing was impossible. He had the confidence. And in that confidence, everyone around him had a sense of security. There was safety. So in those early days, he provided safety for everyone. And, we talk about work as love in action. For Peter, it was to give your very best and have an element of perfection. Not in the end result, but just to really work hard and give it your best. I had to rebuild a fence 3 times. Seriously. Peter would come by, and because it wasn't straight or something wasn't quite right with it, I never quibbled about that. That's just how things were. But Peter was not an authority in and of himself. There was the higher authority. And if one could understand that and have a relationship to that higher authority functioning through Peter, he was a loving, caring, empowering man. And really inside, he was a teddy bear. You had this exterior self, his military background, the way that he dressed, the way that he came across. But he was an enabler, particularly for the younger people who lived there at the time. He was a mentor, a wonderful a model of getting something done, decisive. And his leadership was to see the best in people and to draw that out. He wasn't imposing or micromanaging or telling people what to do. He truly drew out the highest in people because he knew how to inspire. And that inspiration was that mystical element because he was very much in touch with that deeper part of himself and what he was calling in to make Findhorn a center of light, a demonstration of abundance, and the manifestation of a new world that he was so committed and dedicated to work towards, as were all of those founders. And I'm very indebted to him. In fact, Peter, come over here. I just want to tell you from me, you died very quickly, but we all have to provide some gratitude and appreciation for who you are and what you did for this place. I mean, really. And for the many people who have been influenced positively by you. And I'm certainly one of them. So thank you, Peter. Yeah. We're going to leave it with that.